in the ground, "See, here is what belongs to you." His master replied, "You wicked, lazy servant. So you knew that I have harvested where I have not sown, and gathered where I have not scattered seed. Well then, you should have put my money on deposit with the bankers, so that when I return, I would have received it back with interest. So take the bag of gold from him and give it to the one who has 10 bags. For whoever has will be given more, and they will have an abundance. Whoever does not have, even what they have will be taken from them. And throw that worthless servant outside into the darkness, where they will be weeping and gnashing of teeth." Here it is.
Genesis chapter 2, verse 16 tells us that there was no human being to till the ground and to take care of it. And therefore God created man and gave him those duties to perform, to take care of his land, the land which he had created, the world which he had created, to plow, to walk on it, so that all the plants would continue to fruit. All the plants would continue to be useful to those whom he had put on the ark. Friends, I want to remind us that we all here this morning are on God's earth, the earth which God created. And I want to remind us that just as God put Adam and Eve on the land to care for it, to make it a conducive place to live in for themselves and for those who will follow later, so it is our responsibility even today, even though we're not called Adam or Eve, we are their children. We are God's creatures. We have been put in charge of what God has created. We are expected to till this land. We are expected to take care of this land. We are expected to make this world a better place to live in. None of us can do everything. Therefore, God has given us different gifts. As I stand here, I cannot say to Sydney, get up from that organ and let me play it. I cannot. That is Sydney's speciality. As I stand here, I cannot be the choir master of this church. As I stand here, I can be a father only in my home, not in the home of any other person. Every one of us, therefore, has something given to us. God knows we cannot do everything. God knows Jenisa, who stands here, is chosen to preach and to teach. He knows that is his specialty, and that is what God has given me. And I thank God that throughout my life, the two great things I've enjoyed in my life are to teach and to preach. And I thank God that at least I know my teaching and preaching have brought life, have made people a little better. God has given us different gifts because we cannot do everything. No one person can do everything. In our epistle today, Romans 12, verses 1 to 8, we are told that God has given us different gifts. Different gifts. Gifts of prophecy. There are some people who can prophesy. God has given them that gift. In the church in those days, there were people who could prophesy. People would say, this will happen, and this will happen. God has given us also the gift of serving. We each are here to serve in this church, in our homes, in our workplaces, in our communities, among people whom we live, in our homes, in our workplaces, in our churches, we are expected to serve. God has given to some of us the gift of teaching. In the field of education, we say there are born teachers. Some people are born to teach. If they teach you and you don't pass, you better die. They are born to teach. There are others who are made to teach. And unfortunately for us in this world nowadays, we have a lot of people who are made to teach. And they chase the money. They don't want to know whether the children pass the exams or not. They don't want to know whether the children become good people in the end. They are made to teach. They are not born to teach. We thank God that God has given us that opportunity, that some people can teach and make people better. We are also given the opportunity to contribute to the needs of others. As we look around, we see people who are not as well off as we are. God says to us, turn around, look at them, supply their needs as much as you can. Let me remind you that even Jesus said, when you have two coats, you give one to your brother. He did not say when you have one coat, give the one coat. Jesus did not say that. So as we look around and see the needy, God is expecting us to provide for the needy. To provide for the needy. Another gift mentioned in the scriptures is to show mercy. To show mercy. The Creole man calls it soriat. There are some people whose hearts are so hard that they show no pity to nobody. You're not sorry for nobody. You're not sorry for a man. You're not sorry for a wife. You're not sorry for a family. Then before I would say you go sorry for some other person outside. Some people then act stronger than this boat when I ask you. This boat. Some people then act stronger than this boat. Whatever you do, you know they move them. You know they move them. Say, yeah, I don't know. The scriptures ask us to show mercy. When somebody wrongs you, the scriptures say, the person asks for forgiveness, turn around and give that person forgiveness. Remember that when you pray in the Lord's Prayer, you say, forgive us this day as we forgive others the trespasses that bear us. What's the use if you can pray that in the Lord's Prayer and then you have no mercy for nobody? No mercy for nobody. These are gifts that God has given each one of us. And friends, I want to say that there is nobody here this morning that does not have one of these gifts that I have mentioned. You may not be able to prophesy, but you're given the gift to serve. You may not be able to teach, but God has given you all things with which you can look after other people, contribute to the needs of others. And there is nobody that God has made that should not have that feeling of mercy in him. That person who has no feeling of mercy, that person who cannot be sorry for anybody, is not God's person. He belongs to Satan. And I want to warn that we all are here. God is on one side, trying to draw us to him. Satan is on the other side, trying to draw us out of God's kingdom.